think it's no exaggeration to say that we're living through an exhaustion epidemic. A term first coined all the way back in 2006 in this Guardian article, which noted that upwards of 42% of people see lack of sleep as their biggest health concern, with an extra 32% worried about general levels of fatigue. And while I don't have any present day numbers, I think it's fair to say that the situation hasn't improved. Literally everywhere you turn on the internet, you see people just desperate for solutions to improve their sleep, seeing their general tiredness as a major problem for, well, everything. And it's not like only the general public has this problem. According to this article here, this exhaustion epidemic is overwhelming even doctors and GPs. I think we are just seeing the tip of the iceberg. Everyone, it seems, is absolutely shattered. We know we ought to be exercising and eating well to keep healthy and help us sleep, but one of the main reasons Britons don't have healthier lifestyles is because, oh, the irony, they are too tired. So you can kind of see where the problem comes from. But let's pause there for a second. Reading through all these articles has been quite depressing, honestly, and ironically enough, tiring in its own right. However, a ray of hope exists. As I was reading about all this fatigue epidemic, I came across a quote so wonderful, so powerful in its simplicity that it just made something click in my mind and allowed me to develop a couple of very simple habits that pretty much did away with my chronic tiredness. But before we talk about this marvelous solution, we first need to answer a question, and trust me, this is important for everything to work. What even is tiredness? Is anyone in the audience familiar with the idea of ADHD fatigue? I know I certainly wasn't, because it's not really something that we talk about all that much. But apparently, it's like a big problem. According to this article here, fatigue is one of the most common symptoms associated with ADHD, and yet, for whatever reason, it's one of the symptoms about which we talk about the least.
That's suspicious.
So yeah, it's pretty scary. Just go to your neighborhood-friendly ADHD subreddit to see just how bad it gets, to see how many people are desperate for solutions, trying to understand where their fatigue comes from and what they can do about it. But this, of course, begs the question of why are we tired in the first place, and why is our fatigue chronic? Meaning that it won't go away no matter how much we sleep, how much meditation we do, and how many cold showers we take every day. The answer is actually surprisingly simple. What I discovered over this past month doing research for this video is that the fatigue we're experimenting has nothing to do with tiredness. In fact, being physically tired, being physically exhausted can actually be good for us. It can be beneficial for sleep, and it can help us feel reinvigorated. More on that later. Instead, the best way to see fatigue or ADHD tiredness, or however you want to call it, is as an emotion. As Emma Sepala puts it in this fascinating article on ADHD and tiredness, it's easy to see how high-intensity negative emotions might wear us out during the course of the day. Many of us have come to rely on our stress response to get things done. We fuel ourselves up with adrenaline and caffeine, overscheduling ourselves and waiting until the very last minute to complete projects, waiting for that fight or flight mode to kick in and believing we need a certain amount of stress to be productive. Oh shit! Oh! And I don't know about you, but I think this paragraph really hit the nail right on the head, because first of all, same, but also it kinda digs to the root of the problem and to the reason behind why our fatigue is chronic. Odd as it might sound, ADHD people just care too much. We care too much, that's the problem. We take on so many responsibilities because deep down we desire to be useful. And then when the smallest thing happens, when something goes wrong, disaster. No wonder then that everything can start feeling overwhelming and everything can start feeling exhausting. It makes a lot of sense why these things have become increasingly worse. I mean, so to bring it all together, now that we understand tiredness as an emotion, where do we go from here? Are we doomed to forever fall asleep at our desks? Or is there hope? And in this world where everyone is mentally drained 24/7, it's no surprise really that a lot of cures and solutions are always proposed online. Wherever you turn on the internet, it seems that everyone just discovered the holy grail of curing tiredness. No blue light, exercise, no exercise, eat before bed, but not right before bed. Sex, but not that kind. And I kid you not, over the past year or so, I tried everything. Well, except because always telling myself that the solution is right around the corner, that the next thing I try surely is going to be the thing that is going to fix my sleep once and for all. And despite most things turning out to be complete garbage, I'm sorry, a couple of things did actually end up working for me. One extremely simple, and the other one not so much. And the simple thing might seem a bit crazy, but then again, have you seen my videos? Half an hour or so before bed, I just put my phone away and start leisurely strolling through my apartment. Not thinking about anything in particular, not trying to meditate or anything like that, just walking around. And it's crazy just how effective this one small thing has turned out to be, and I honestly think it's because it kind of combines all the good things from a myriad of other techniques that are proposed out there. No phone, no blue light. It's exercise, but then it's not really exercise. Your Honor, I would like to invite the true culprit to the stand, please. So one night, as someone with anxiety and ADHD in spades does, I was browsing Reddit instead of sleeping when I came across this thread titled "The Worst Part of ADHD, Shame," which, you know, yeah, but my epiphany did not come from the original post itself, but rather, as I was scrolling through the comments, one in particular stood out. 10 upvotes and just one line by, maybe I should censor this name? Instead, let's call him Chris. And Chris said, "Yeah, I hate trying to sleep and thinking about my day and just realizing that I basically wasted it." Oh my god! I don't know what it was about this comment specifically, but reading it suddenly made like a piece of a puzzle that I didn't know was missing just click in my brain. The reason why my brain was having so much trouble falling asleep is not that I was overstimulated. Rather, what I found is that I would keep myself up by shamefully ruminating about the past and being very fearful of what might come in the future. Which, again, not a groundbreaking discovery by any means, but it was to me, okay? And you know, I'm still working on it myself, but I believe that working on fixing this root issue, which is our ADHD shame, can do wonders for us during this exhaustion epidemic. Because if you stop being fearful, if you stop being ashamed and forgive yourself for the things that didn't go as planned, you're going to take an important piece of stress off your shoulders, allowing you to sleep even 1% better.